Hi there! So today I thought I would show you guys how I make 3 different kinds of pancakes in one go. One of the biggest things that hinders me with doing a low carb or keto diet, or has hindered me in the past, was the amount of daily cooking I was having to do, rather than just being able to, pop something quick into the oven or into the toaster. I was having to do a lot of daily baking and a lot of daily cooking. So I have come up with different ways to kind of save myself some time and energy by kind of meal prepping, or going ahead and making large batches of something that I normally would make, every day, so I only have to make them as one time. So today I'm going to be making 3 different flavors of carbquik low-carb pancakes using the carbquik mix, and some pumpkin, some of the Lily's baking chocolate chips, and then I think there's just a couple more ingredients I need, maybe like a low-carb sweetener and cocoa powder. And anyway, so I'm going to be making a large batch of 3 different flavors of low-carb pancakes for me to separate and freeze, so that in the future I can just grab them out of the freezer and pop a couple in the toaster or in the oven and heat them up, ready to go. Almost no dishes used for like the baking and mixing process. So let me go ahead and get started by mixing up the carbquik pancake mix, and then I will show you what all I'm doing. Okay, so for the first flavor of pancakes that I'm making, again, I'm using the carbquik baking mix, so they're low-carb pancakes. It's just going to be the pumpkin, and I have kind of modified the pancake recipe for carbquik. I basically doubled it for this recipe, so I added a full can of pumpkin. You might have to adjust accordingly, depending on how much or little that you are making. But the basic change that I made to the carbquik pancake instructions, which I felt were a little bit heavy the last time that I made them, so this time I did not use heavy cream, and instead I used water to mix it. And I'm also leaving out the extra coconut butter or regular butter that I used last time, because I generally like to just melt butter onto my pancakes, and these are usually a little bit fluffier, which is what I'm going for. So I've added a little bit of cinnamon to the mix, and then I will be adding a little bit of the pumpkin pie spice to them once they're on the griddle. So let me go ahead and get started with that, and I am making my first flavor. Okay, so now that I've got my first batch, or my first flavor batch done, these are just finishing up. So I'm going to move on to the second one, which the first one was just pumpkin with just some pumpkin pie spice added to each individual pancake. So there's still obviously pumpkin in here. So all I'm going to do for the second one is make them into pumpkin chocolate chips, chocolate chip, and I'll be adding these Lily's semi-sweet baking chips to the mix and starting that batch. Okay, so while the pumpkin chocolate chip are still cooking, I thought I'd just explain. So the first flavor is pumpkin, and what I'm going to do is I have some little pieces of parchment paper cut up into like smallish sizes, And obviously I'm making a large batch of these so that I can freeze them and have individual servings. So all I'm going to do is just put a serving in between each parchment paper. So these are pretty like thin, so I'd probably do like 3 as a serving. So I'm just going to do 3 and then stack 3 more, or 3 and then put a piece of parchment paper down and then stack 3 more, and so on and so on. And then I'll be putting those in the freezer for future use. Okay, so while the pumpkin chocolate chips are finishing cooking, I'm going to go ahead and make the final flavor, which is going to be a chocolate chip. It still has the pumpkin in there, but the chocolate's going to overtake all the flavor. So for that, I'm just going to be adding some cocoa powder and a little bit of like Swerve sweetener, just the granular one, just to help give the cocoa powder a little bit of sweetness. Alright, and now I have the final flavor, which is the chocolate chip. Technically it's pumpkin chocolate chip because it still has pumpkin in it, but it mostly just tastes like chocolate. And this is definitely my favorite flavor, so I'm going to do quite a bit of it. And I just eyeballed how much cocoa powder I put in and how much sweetener. You can vary it depending on how much or little that you like. I tend to like a lot of cocoa powder because it's so good for you. Well, it's good for me. So I just kind of eyeball it. It's totally up to you, however much you want to use. And again, I just added a little bit of the Swerve granular sweetener just to kind of sweeten up the cocoa powder a little bit for the batter. So now I will be starting with the final flavor, and then I will show you the end whenever I have everything all organized. I should have at least about 8 or 10, we'll see how many different servings I have. It's a real time saver, so I'm doing the work one time and then I will have a ready-made low-carb healthy breakfast to eat for several different meals without having to make such a huge mess again. So let me go ahead and finish up with these and then I'll show you the end. Okay, so while the chocolate chip are finishing up, I just thought I would show you how I organized them. These are going to be going into the freezer, and yeah, I think I'm going to have 10 servings of pancakes to use for future use out of, one cooking session, and 3 different flavors. So I just thought I'd show you guys one of my tricks to kind of make doing low carb easier is, cooking large portions or large batches all at once so that you don't have to do it again for a while, rather than having to make, something from scratch every single day and dirtying up tons and tons of dishes along the way. That's what I was doing whenever I first started doing low carb and keto, and it got really, really old really, really fast. So that's why I've devised different ways to kind of ease how much work I'm doing and also be able to make very easy to grab, easy to fix meals that I can fix whenever I'm running low on time or energy. But you guys comment down below and let me know if you want to see more of like the bulk type of batches that I make for things, to kind of like, like I said, do the work once and then you have several different meals out of it. But comment down below if you want to see more videos like this of me showing you some of my tips and tricks to kind of save time and save energy. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to hit the bell notification so that you are notified whenever I upload more videos just like these. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great one.